Hello, welcome back to my channel Crocheted by Eilidh. Today we are going to be making this cute mini Jellycat inspired crochet marshmallow. This is a very easy tutorial and I hope you enjoy. So for this project you will need chunky weight chenille yarn, either pink or white, for the main body of the marshmallow. So I will be using pink Flutterby yarn. For this part you will need a 6mm hook, and then you will also need a 4mm hook for the legs, and you will need brown DK weight yarn for the legs there. And you will also need black yarn, or sorry, not black yarn, but black thread for the eyes and the mouth. And you will need either a pink pen or pink blusher, or perhaps pink pastels to do the little rosy cheeks right at the end. So let's get started. So I should have actually said I will be using a 5mm hook, not a 6mm hook. If you're using a chunkier yarn, like for my white marshmallow here, I used Woolen's Bunny Baby, and it's a bit of a chunkier chenille yarn, so a 6mm hook would probably be better. But for the Flutterby yarn, I will be using a 5mm hook. So we are going to start off with a magic circle, and you're going to have to do 6 stitches into this magic circle. So I'm going to yarn over like my stitch, pull that through. I'm going to pull this bit here really tight, the circle, just to make it easier because the chenille yarn is so hard to pull tight in the magic circle. And then I'll do my little slip stitch there. And now I'm going to do 6 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and just now I'm going to just pull this tail through to just try to pull it tighter. See, it totally shreds when you do it. It's a problem with chenille yarn. The alternative to doing the magic circle is you can do a slip stitch, or sorry, you can do 1 chain and do 6 single crochet stitches into that chain, and it'll have basically the same effect. So that's me on 4. I'm going to do 5 and 6. Now I don't think mine will pull any tighter, but I will try. If yours ends up having a massive gap, you can go back with normal thread and thread it through to pull it tighter, but I don't think I will do that because my hole's not too big. So for our first round we are going to do increases in every stitch, so we have a total of 12 stitches. So going into that first stitch there, I'm going to do a single crochet. And I'm going to increase by doing a second single crochet in that same stitch. That brings us to a total of 7 stitches. We're going to repeat that until we get all the way around and have 12 stitches. So I'm going to single crochet and then increase, a single crochet and increase, a single crochet and increase, and I think this will be our last one. Single crochet and then the increase. Let me just count there. No, that's 11, sorry, so 1 more. I'll just single crochet in there and and increase. There we go, that is the end of your first round. I don't count the magic circle as the first round, so I would count that one. That's like 0, and the second one here is like 1. So for our second row, we're going to increase up to 18. So what you're going to do for that is 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch you're going to do a single crochet, and then another single crochet to increase. So I shall do my first single crochet, and then I'm going to increase in this one. So do a single crochet and increase. If you're not very good at remembering what you've done, it is best to mark your first stitch so you know when you've finished a round. I get pretty good at just remembering and seeing by eye where I am, but I would recommend that if you are not so certain of your crocheting skills yet. So in the next one, I'm going to single crochet and then increase. Sorry, that was single crochet, then in the next stitch I'm going to do a single crochet and then increase. So this one, single crochet, next stitch is my increase, single crochet and another single crochet. So I will just count to check how many I've done. Okay, I've done 18, so that is me back to the start. Now we are going to start, I will show you with my first marshmallow, we are going to start going up the way. So we've done 18 single crochets to get the circumference, I guess, of the bottom, and now we're going to start going up. So to do that, we are going to just single crochet in the outside edge of the stitch, just this bit here, for the 18 stitches until we get back around here. So I'll show you for the first one. You're going to go into just this outside loop, if you can. There we go, just into the outside loop, and you're going to do your single crochet, and same in the next one. You're going to do 18 single crochets round until you are back at the start. Right, so you can see my first stitch I did in the outside edge was that one right there. So I'm just going to do one more on the outside edge. So you see there is one stitch there, kind of there, which is not on the outside edge, but I'm just going to miss that one, which I think means I've only actually done 17 round in the outside edge, but I don't know, for some reason it just seems to work when I do it like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just continue going up the way. So this is our first round of like the side of the cylinder, I guess. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to have a total of 7. So now you're just going to do single crochets normally, just like that. just going through both loops, and you're going to do 7 total rounds. So that will technically be your rows 3 until 9 if you include the first 2 on the bottom. And don't worry if your bottom seems to stick out like this. The shape of it will change once you stuff it and put it into the right shape. So I will come back once I have done my ninth round or 7th round up the side and show you how to close in for the top. So that is me now finished my 7th round of the cylindrical bit going up, I guess. I don't know exactly what to describe it as. So we are now going to increase in to create the top of the marshmallow here. So we're going to start with 18 decreases going around, and you're only going to go in the outside loop, or the inside loop I guess, as we're going in that way, to bring it in quite sharply, same way we did it at the bottom. So you're going to go into that loop there, you're going to pull your yarn through into the next loop, pull that through, and then you're going to pull through all 3 loops to do a decrease. And you're going to continue doing that all the way around the top until you only have 9 stitches. There, so we are nearly back. We have done I believe that's me on my 8th one, so I just have to do one more. Oh sorry, I must have to do one more now. As you can see, that brings our outside edges together, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches around the inside. Now what we're going to do is stuff the body before the hole gets too narrow. So I'll take my stuffing. I like to just pull it apart like this just to make sure it's not really clumpy. So I'm going to stuff it in the hole just there. You want it to be quite firm to hold the shape well, so you may need more stuffing than you think. That is feeling fairly firm, so I'll just do a little bit more stuffing. Right, I think that will be enough. You see, it doesn't squish too much, just a little bit. So now we are basically just closing the gap. So what we're going to do decreases just all the way around again. But but this time we go through the entire stitch, not just the outside edge. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 'Now there comes a point where the hole basically gets so narrow that you can't really keep doing the decreases. I believe I've reached that point now. So what you're going to do is just slip stitch into the next stitch and then slip stitch through there. You're going to pull a tail, cut your yarn and pull that through, and now we are just going to use this tail here to close that hole. As you can see, there's a few sort of gaps from the decreases. This does tend to happen. I'm sure that there is many crocheters out there who have managed to fix this, but it's not one of my strong points yet. So what I'm going to do is make that the bottom of the marshmallow, and this will be my top. So to pull the yarn through, you can use a needle. I will be using a hook because I find that the chenille yarn just seems to sort of shred itself when you use a needle. So I'm just going to go through the stitches. Sorry, I was a bit out of camera there. I'm just going to make sure that is nice and tight. Sorry, I'm out of camera lens again. And then I'm just going to basically pull this tail inside the marshmallow so it is hidden. You should probably tie a knot, but because it's the chenille yarn, it doesn't seem to budge that easily, so I'm not going to bother. So I've managed to pull the stuffing out. I'm then just going to use my scissors to hide this tail inside the marshmallow. And this will be your main body finished. There we go. There. Now you can see it does like a little bit of a funny shape. You sort of just have to squish it into the right shape, and then it will tend to hold that once you get it there. So there we go. Next we will move on and do the legs. I find it easier to do the legs and sew them on, and then you can decide where your eye placement goes. We are now going to crochet the legs. So I believe I said at the start that you would need a 4mm hook, but I will actually be using a 3mm hook for the legs, just so I can get my stitches nice and tight. I also said you will need DK weight brown yarn. I didn't actually have any DK weight yarn. I had this chunky yarn. It's called Walnut and it is Emu. So what I've done is I've pulled the yarn in half basically to make it finer. So it basically is DK weight, although I believe it might be slightly finer. You can still use a 4mm hook to do the legs and they will still work just fine. So I'll start off now. So we're going to again do a magic circle like we did for the main body and do 6 stitches into it. So just same magic circle as we did before. Because you're using just normal yarn, this will be so much easier to pull tight than the chenille. So you're just going to do 6 stitches into your magic circle. I always do my tail too short, so I end up having to pull it before I finish. There we go, that is me done my 6 stitches. So I will now pull it tight, pull the gap closed, and we are now going to do 6 increases, so we have a total of 12 stitches. So you're just going to do 2 single crochets in each of your stitches. Oh, I always find the first one so tricky. There we go. So that's me done 1 single crochet in that stitch, and I'm now going to do another. Also, I apologise that the lighting has changed. It now gets dark here so early, so I'm now having to use artificial light. It doesn't look quite so nice on the camera. There, so I think that is me done. Yeah, I've got my 12 stitches. So now we're just going to go around, do 12 single crochets, keeping it the same. This will be the total width of the foot, the widest part. So just 12 single crochets. Alright, that is me done my second row. I've done 12 single crochets. So now this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because we are going to decrease in to create this sort of foot shape here. So what we're going to do is 4 single crochets, and then we're going to do 3 decreases along which will be the front of the foot. So start off with 4 single crochets. So that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to do 3 decreases in a row. So to do the decrease, just the same as we did before, you insert your hook there, pull it through, insert in the next stitch, pull that through, and then loop through all 3 loops. Now we're going to do our second decrease. And third. there. And to finish off the round, we should just need to do 2 more single crochets. So that is 1 and 2. So you should now have 9 stitches there around the top of the foot. There. So the next one, we are again going to do more decreases to bring the foot in more. So you are going to do 4 single crochets again. So that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this time we're just going to do 2 decreases. So insert, pull through, insert to the next one, pull through, and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. And again. And you're going to do just 1 single crochet to finish that round. And you should have a total of 7 stitches round the top now. Yeah, 7. So as you can see, it doesn't really look like the shape right now. You sort of have to push it into shape there. See, it looks a little bit more like a foot now. See the side. So now what we're going to do is just put the tiniest bit of stuffing in our foot just to help it hold the shape. So like literally no stuffing at all. And you probably need something to help you stuff it in. I just use the scissors. Yeah, so just literally the tiniest bit of stuffing just to help it hold its shape. So you're now going to do 7 single crochets for the next round. This is a little tricky now it's stuffed because you tend to start pulling the stuffing out. There we go, done my 7 stitches there. I'm just trying to push the foot into sort of the right shape. Now what we're going to do is basically sew this top together so it's flat, just makes it easier to sew onto the body. So you're going to miss sort of this one here because obviously we have an odd number. You're going to do 3 single crochets along. So if you insert into the next stitch, you're going to miss the one that's sort of attached to your hook. Go through that next one there. This was very tricky. And just do normal single crochet. Then through the next 2. And you should just have 2 left here, just around the corner. And you'll insert your hook through that gap. And pull through, and then you're just going to slip stitch, pull that right through and fasten off, and then cut your yarn. Obviously mine's already cut because I actually already did the other foot and pulled the yarn apart, so I had the exact right length. So you'll sort of need to push your foot just to make it the right sort of shape, just like a little boot. And we are now going to attach them to our marshmallow. So I should have left longer tails to make it easier to sew them on. So this might be a bit tricky for me. So when you're doing your boots, try leave longer tails. So you can see around here, this is the bottom. It has slightly bigger gaps. So this is going to be the bottom. And And you can also see our join at the back, it's slightly less smooth, so this is going to be the back. I'm going to sew the feet on at the front. So you can use a needle or you can just use your crochet hook, whichever you prefer. So I'm just going to insert just below the sort of ridge line here, I think. Let me just check. Yeah, I've done it just below the ridge line. I'm just going to pull this tail through. Then I'm going to attach there and pull it back out this side. There we go, and I'll then insert. I'm going to do it back to front this time and pull it through there. So you see our foot is just attached there. I will then need to just tie my knot. I'll do that sort of underneath so it's hidden, and then I will just tuck the end in somehow, just make it hidden. There we go, and then I will tuck the end in. And then you're going to do the other foot just 2 stitches along. So you see how I left, I used 2 stitches to basically sew the foot on. I'm going to leave 2 stitch gap. If you're looking at the bottom, this is just 1 stitch because it's a decrease. So then there is where I'm going to sew the other foot on. And then I'm going to go through here. Pull that nice and tight. You can basically sew your feet on however you want. Just, I suggest using like the guidelines of 2, 2 and 2 just to space them well. Okay, I'm just gonna tuck the tails in off camera, just make it a little neater, and then I will show you how to do the eyes, the mouth and the little rosy cheeks as well. Okay, so we're now going to sew the eyes on. As you can see, I've done the eyes on exactly the center row. Is that right? Yeah, 4th row, so 4 from the top, 4 from the bottom, and they're sort of in line with the side of the leg. So on this one here, I will do this eye roughly here and the eye on the other side roughly here. What you're going to do for the eyes is you're going to take black thread and a needle, and you're going to basically take just a really long bit of your black thread, and you're going to basically wind it round and round one like bit of yarn until it creates like a nice eye shape. So if I'm doing it here, I would pick this one here just as one stretch, like it's not a whole stitch, it's just one sort of single bit of yarn. I'm just going to tie my knot around it. At the end you will need to tuck this bit in, or you can tuck it in just now. I tend to wait till the end. So then you're just going to wind round and round until your eye is thick enough you can't see any pink in between it. So the eyes are, to be honest, quite a slow process. It does take quite a bit of time. I suppose you could probably use thicker thread if you wanted to speed it up. I'm not sure if that would work quite the same. It kind of is just a steady process. Oh, I've just knocked my camera. So you can see we're sort of getting somewhere now, starting to look a bit like an eye. Don't worry too much if you're leaving gaps, because it's relatively easy to sort of shuffle the yarn around. Like you can just sort of push it back and forth to cover the gaps. Sorry, I keep going right off the bottom of the screen. I'm just trying to pull it closer to myself so I can see better. I think I might have just put that onto a different stitch, or a different bit of yarn. There we go, so you can see our eye is pretty much built up. Oh, that's a bit close. So you're then going to do the same on the other side. Just pick your sort of vertical bit there. I would probably pick that one there. And just do the same for the other eye. But while I've got this shorter bit here, I will show you how to do the mouth. So yeah, I think I've built up that eye enough. So I'm just going to tuck it inside, and I'm going to come out here. So you see I'm right in the centre of the two legs and 2 stitches below where the eyes are. Then I think I want my mouth to go to there. So I will do that, and then on the other side I will just go 1 stitch like that. So just you've got a nice little V-shaped mouth there. To be honest, I'm not really the best at doing mouths, so if you can do them better, then you can choose your own way. Probably will turn out better than mine. I'm just gonna double up a few times. There we go. I've just done that twice, but I think that will be enough. So then I will just tie this off by kind of just winding it around. There we go, and then I'll probably just tuck it into the body. Okay, I will come back once I have done the other eye and show you how to do the cheeks. Okay, so I've now finished my eyes. They turned out a little bit bigger than my original one, but I think they actually look quite cute. So I'm now just going to do the little rosy cheeks, just like a little toasted marshmallow. So I will be using this Sharpie pink pen, and as you can see it looks like it'll be very light. It doesn't look like it'll show up much, but you could also use a little bit of blusher and just use a little brush to put it on. So I'm just going to do it on this square just here, so just one down from the eye and out, and you're just going to do a little bit of colour like that, and then just sort of rub it. Make sure it's not too thick, and then same on the other side. I'll just give that a wee rub. And as you can see, we are now all finished. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you really like your new little marshmallow. And I hope it turned out well. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you in my next video. I'm hoping to post lots of Christmassy things soon, so comment what you would like to see me make. Thanks for watching. Bye!